Welcome to River City Plus, the show after the show, the River City After Party, and this is the Friday edition. We are feeling good, and to feel good with me here is Felicia Wright, and she is the creator of Maigani LLC and the founder of the Curls and Convo event that is going on its 9th year. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. We're super excited. Still can't believe we made it to 9 years.
So first of all, I want to kind of take us back and understand how Curls and Convo was created, because even when I got this job, this event had already been going strong for a few years. But how did it start? Because that's a real testament to how you've created the signature event if it's going on almost a decade.
Right. So it started out of my own experience. When I first had my daughter, I had gotten a relaxer or a perm in my hair. And I think because of my hormones, I had a bad reaction to it. And because I had a little girl at home, I didn't want to go, sit in the salon for hours at a time. So I kept missing hair appointments. But what I learned over that time is, about natural hair and different ways that I could wear my hair or different products to put in the hair. So my natural hair journey and my hair journey became ours along with my daughter. But what I also learned was it wasn't just about the hair. It was about how I saw myself, how society saw me. And I would hear different stories, in the news about negativity, about whether, like, if you had braids or dreads. And it just became so many layers and so much more. So that's how the initial event started. And the initial one actually started as a Mommy and Me event, because of my own experience. And it's, expanded since then. But it's more about, even though we use the topic of hair, it's more about how you see yourself, how society sees you, how you're able to kind of navigate through life, with just being okay with who you are, that self-confidence within yourself. Yes.
And a lot of this, we've had these conversations before, is women of color who have to handle their beautiful textured hair have historically really been pushed down and asked to change their hair to look more like, someone like my hair texture, which is obviously wrong. Like, you hear things like that now and you kind of wonder how we ever were in a space where we weren't okay with women sporting the hair that's just coming naturally out of their head. But why is this conversation so much bigger than just learning how to style your own hair? Like, how is this combating really years of racism, years of just separation within women?
Yes.
Especially I would say in like the work, the professional environment, even in the arts. We've heard ballerinas speak about how they were forced to straighten their hair to make sure their bun was the same. Or like you said, braids weren't appropriate for work environment. So how is that almost educating other people as well?
It's definitely an educational piece. And a fun fact about me, I actually am an educator. I've been a mentor, tutor. I've taught classes on the college level. So I always have that educational piece. And that educational piece actually comes in with our panel, hearing different stories and experiences from other people. But like you were saying, it's not just about the hair. What comes into play a lot of times, and from the stories and even my own experiences, it happens a lot to women or people of color. And so then it's like, is it really about the hair or is it about the color of my skin? So, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Crown Act, but that was introduced in 2018, and it's something that we definitely talk about at the event. It's a law that was put into place against hair discrimination in the workplace and in schools. And so it becomes, is it really about the hair, or is there something, underlying, and you're trying to use it as an excuse to say, oh, you need to go, change your hair because it's not as professional. You're not going to be able to get a job, or you're not, you're seen a certain way, whatever society standards is, whatever that means, because everyone is different. So you can't just put everyone in a box.
Something that you mentioned to me one time when I first met you is that people associated naturally curly hair with an unkemptness. And you said that was a big thing that you wanted to combat. You said, and like you and I talk, and we think it's crazy that we even have to have a law.
The conversation,
we have to have the conversation, but we do, and it's so important. So how do you think that you are creating that path, just one year at a time, making sure that people understand, like, this is natural beauty? Like, case in point, end of story.
I think part of it is, being able to create a space that feels safe. And the convo part comes in with we're able to have those open conversations, having different perspectives on the panel, being able to share their experiences and their stories. We actually had one young lady who has alopecia, which means she has no hair, or maybe it might be a cancer patient that lost their hair. Even in those situations, the message that I want to, get across and make sure that people understand is for you to be at a place where you're confident and you love who you are just how you are, because everyone is different. I think we're in a world now where we always compare ourselves, especially with social media, and that can take you down, a rabbit hole.
Ooh,
And
can it
it can take you down, not feeling like you're the best, or because someone looks this way or they do these things that, you're not enough. And I want that message to be that you are enough just how you are, and having that safe space and being around others who support and empower and educate you on the different things that you may be dealing with.
How can we be a safer person? Because I think we all have the opportunity, regardless of what we look like or where we came from, to be that safe person, even if it's not a safe space. Like, what are some of the tools that you share if somebody does hear commentary, or if a comment is made to you about your hair? What are the tools to combat that in a work environment where you do have to continue to exist, but you need to let people know that that's not going to be tolerated either around you or towards you?
Right. And I think it's different. It's going to be different for different situations, because I have an 11-year-old daughter. And one of the things that she comes home, kids, they say things and do things. Even adults, we do the same thing. But with her, I tell her to ignore these things, and that's easier said than done. But I want her to get, because as much as I can tell her, she's beautiful, she's smart, she can do anything, she has to get to the point where she believes that for herself. And I think if it's that mental and your mindset, for you to be able to get to that place where these things, don't bother you as much, but you're also able to still navigate and believe that, that's not who I am. And then if it's in the workplace, then take the proper steps that you need to do, whether it's going to HR. And of course, every situation is different, but I think having that mindset, because I think it is about your mentality. We talk about hair, but it's so many other layers and how it affects you, and then how it may affect you in navigating through your personal and professional journey. Yeah.
I love that you provide those in terms of the panel and in the story. And I'd love to talk about the panel because Marilyn Parker is going to be part of it again.
Yes, she's actually our moderator. She was our moderator last year, yes, and she's coming back.
What are the kinds of people that you like to bring together for this again? Because like you said, it's not about the hair.
Right.
It's a great conversation. As women, like, we always want to know great tips and tricks, and we want to, learn easy styles, and we want to, that's always a great conversation starter, but it seems like that's really the tool and the catalyst for these deeper dives and these deeper connections.
Yeah. And so with the panel, I try to choose a diverse panel. I have someone who works in HR, so they'll kind of be able to tell it from, tell their story from the HR standpoint, but also their own personal journey. I have a stylist, an actual professional stylist, so she deals with, different people's hair all the time, comes in her chair, because if you go get your hair done, you're getting your hair done, but it's something about how it makes you feel once you leave, or how did it feel when you walked in, which maybe you want to change something or try something new. And of course, you probably have conversations with your stylist. The other thing that I always try to do, because I want our young girls to understand, and that's why I try to have an emphasis and focus on them, but I always have a young person on the panel. So this year, we're actually super excited. I've been the official accessory sponsor for Miss Black USA. So I actually have their teen winner will be on our panel this year in person. Usually it's been virtual, but she'll be able to share her experience, talk about the different things that she's done in navigating through everything. So having a different variety, and then because of that and the conversations, usually one of the attendees can kind of relate to one of the stories that's being shared. Yeah.
I love that you do have kind of a youth representative because, as we're older, even though as you and I being perpetually 29, we remember childhood moments like they were yesterday.
Right.
But as a kid looking at us, they're just like,
They don't
You
understand.
know, like, you don't get it. You've never
Right.
been there. And we were like, oh, we have been there, and we were there with no cell phone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? We went through the trenches too.
Right.
But having somebody who can really relate to them and get on their level, what is the number one question that you get asked at Curls and Convo? What is like the number one like hot button topic that you get?
I think the number one question is, maybe because it's called Curls and Convo, a lot of people will say, well, I'm not natural, or I don't wear my hair curly, or what if I don't have any hair? And so I always tell them, tell attendees or people that are interested in coming that everyone is welcome. Even I have some ladies who maybe they're not wearing their hair natural. Maybe they're doing the relaxer. So we don't, exclude anyone.
We're
We
not
want
style
everyone,
shaming.
right?
We're no
We
style
want
shaming.
everyone to, and when I tell people my story, I'm like, that's my personal story and my personal choice. But again, I want to make this a safe space. And while we talk about the hair, it's more about how you see yourself. And I want you to be comfortable, in your own skin, if you will, to be comfortable with who you are, in the spaces that you're in. And so everybody's going to be different, and that's okay. And that's what I love about it, because it's diverse, within the attendees that attend. And most attendees have been back. They've come back multiple times each year, and I think they learn something new, each time they come, or make a new connection
Right.
each time they attend. Yeah.
I think you said you even have daddy bears coming in.
Yes, we've actually had some dads come. Sometimes they'll drop the girls off, but sometimes they'll kind of just hang around and, see what's going on. And I think that's really great, because I think it's important, especially for young girls, to have that important, male figure in their life to help them, navigate through things. Because, when we look at ourselves and we think of, as being a young girl, well, does this boy like me, or relationships, then again, you're looking at yourself and you're having that self-reflection. So it's very important to have that positive male figure in your life. Yes.
Right. No, I love that. And just seeing that additional support, for the conversations that women are having in the community, getting a little bit more understanding of that, I think is fantastic.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
real quick, since
Yes.
you do have this here, I do want to talk about this proclamation.
Yes.
Now this has to be a really special moment for you.
It is. And it's so interesting, because this actually came about like right around the pandemic. So I didn't realize, that it would happen when it did, but I'm super proud of this. So the city of Jacksonville declared February 12th Curls and Convo Day, which is another reason why every year it'll be that second Saturday of the month of February, in conjunction with it being Black History Month. So I'm super proud of this, and this is just one of the mugs that we have with the logo on it. But yes, I'm extremely proud, and just because I know how important it is to me, but for other people in the city to recognize it means a lot. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for you, and I can't believe this time next year we'll be
you.
talking about year 10.
Yes.
So just before we go, can you tell me how we can stay connected with you, how people can, can register for the event, and what the
Yes.
flow of the day looks like?
Yes, so you can connect with me on my website, which is mygani.com, www.mygani.com. There is a link on there, Curls and Convo link, to go to the Eventbrite page. And if you want to go directly to the Eventbrite page, it's Curls and Convo, the number 9.eventbrite.com. The event is February 10th, 2024, and it will be at the ViStar Tower from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Fantastic. So a great way to spend a Saturday. Felicia,
Yes.
first of all, thank you so much for taking the steps to create these conversations.
Thank you.
I know events are not easy to put together,
Yeah.
and especially when you are dealing with, a subject matter that can
Right.
have so many different aspects to it, and you've handled
Yes.
it with grace each and
Yes.
every year.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I was like, all right, well, we are going to wish you a wonderful event. You want to make sure that
Thank
you
you, thank
get
you.
registered. I'll make sure you guys have all the links. Thank you so much for joining us for River City Plus. We will see you bright and early Monday morning for River City Live.